Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English with Liam and Olivia.
Yes, welcome. We're so genuinely happy you chose to spend this time with us today.
This is the podcast where English feels warm, real, and completely part of your everyday life.
And today we have one that is going to feel so satisfying once it clicks. Trust us on this one. But first, one quick thing from us to you.
If this podcast has been helping your English feel more natural and more confident, please like this episode right now. And if you are not subscribed yet, please join our family today. A brand new episode is waiting for you every single day.
Okay, so today we are talking about 3 expressions that every English learner uses, or tries to use.
Right, and here's the thing. These 3 live so close together that it is genuinely hard to know which one to use and when. Can, could, and was able to.
And I completely understand if you have ever just picked one and hoped for the best.
We have all done it.
Oh, absolutely. We've all just gone with can and quietly wondered if that was right.
But after today, you're never going to have to guess again, because we're going to go through each one through real situations, through real feelings, and make all 3 completely yours.
And you know what is so exciting about this topic? These 3 words show up in some of the most important and most emotional moments in English. Moments of ability, of achievement, of possibility, of asking for things.
Yes, and once you understand them at that level, your English stops being just correct and starts being genuinely expressive.
That is the goal. That is always the goal. Let's get into it.
So let's start with the first concept, can. And let's really feel what can does and where it lives.
Right. So think about it this way. Can is the present tense word for ability, for possibility, for permission. It's right here, right now.
When you say, I can do something, you're saying, I have the ability to do it right now, in this present moment.
So picture this. You're at work, a colleague asks, can you help me with this report? And you say, yes, I can. That can is about your present ability and availability. Right now.
Or think about a child learning to ride a bike, and one day they just stay up, they're balancing, and they shout, I can do it, I can.
Oh, that moment, that can carries such pure joy, such real present ability arriving in a single moment.
Exactly. Or you're in a new city, someone asks, can you speak any of the local language? And you say, a little. I can say hello and thank you. That's about what you're able to do right now.
And here's what I love about can. It's also the word for permission, the casual, natural permission that comes up in everyday, real conversations.
Yes, can I sit here? Can I ask you something? Can we leave a bit earlier today? All of these are permission requests, natural, warm, completely real.
And can also shows up when something is possible, not just about ability, about what is achievable or available.
Oh, right, like it can get very cold here in winter. That's not about someone's ability, it's about what is possible in that place.
Or the traffic can be really bad on this road in the mornings. Again, possible, not certain, but it can happen.
So can covers ability, permission, and possibility, all in the present, all connected to right now.
And it's such a natural word, such a comfortable word. Once you really understand it, you realize it shows up everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
Now, here's something really important, and this is the part most people miss.
Tell them.
Can is not used for past tense in most situations, and this is where so many learners trip up.
Right, so you cannot say, yesterday I can finish my work. That doesn't work because can is a present word. It doesn't travel into the past by itself.
And this is where could and was able to come in, and this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so now for the second concept, could. And could is fascinating because it does 2 very different jobs.
Right, and I love this about could. It's a word that lives in 2 worlds, the past world and the conditional world.
Let's start with the past. Could as the past tense of can for general ability over a period of time.
So think about your childhood. Think about something you were able to do back then, maybe something you cannot do now.
Like run without my knees hurting. When I was young, I could run for hours. Now I need a warm-up and a recovery plan.
Classic. But that could, when I was young, I could run for hours, that's could being the past of can, a general ability that existed over a long period in the past.
Or when I was a child, I could stay up really late without feeling tired the next day. That ability existed throughout your childhood, not once, regularly, generally.
Or she could speak 3 languages when she was just 12 years old, a general ability she had over that period of her life.
This is the key. Could for past general ability, for something you were able to do regularly or as a general truth during a period of your life.
And here's the beautiful thing about could. Could carries a slight nostalgic quality sometimes. When you use could for the past, there's often a gentle sense of looking back.
Oh, completely. I could eat anything and not worry when I was 20. Those days are a wonderful memory now.
We relate. We deeply relate.
But now, here's the second job of could, and this is the part that changes everything.
Could for conditional possibility, for things that are hypothetically possible, for polite requests, for suggestions, for uncertain possibilities right now or in the future.
So think about the difference in feeling. Can you help me with this? That's direct, present ability, casual.
Could you help me with this? That's more polite, more tentative, more considerate. It softens the request beautifully.
Could you send me that document when you have a moment? That could makes the request feel so much warmer, less demanding, more considerate.
And you use could for suggestions, too. We could go to that new restaurant tonight. Not we can, we could. It's a possibility being offered gently.
Or it could rain later. Not certainty, not even strong possibility, just a conditional option, something that might be true.
And could also shows up when something was theoretically possible, even if it didn't happen.
Right, like I could have finished earlier, but I chose to take my time and make sure it was perfect.
Could have. It was possible, I had the ability, but I didn't. That could have structure is so important and so natural in English.
It comes up all the time. We could have gone a different route, but this one turned out to be beautiful.
Or she could have told me. I wish she had. The ability and the possibility were there, but it didn't happen.
Could have is the language of unrealized possibilities, of things that were within reach but did not occur, and it carries that gentle quality of reflection and sometimes regret.
Okay, everyone listening right now, this is your moment. Say this with us out loud. Ready? Let's go.
I could swim when I was 6. She could speak beautifully. Could you help me, please? We could try a different approach.
Say them again, one more time. I could swim when I was 6. She could speak beautifully. Could you help me, please? We could try a different approach.
Feel how different each of those feels. Past ability, past general ability, polite request, gentle suggestion. That's could doing all its different jobs.
That's the word working for you. All those meanings, all from one small word, and it's yours now.
Right, so we covered that one beautifully. Now, here's where it gets even more useful. The third concept.
Was able to. And was able to is the one that solves a very specific problem that could cannot solve.
And this is the part most people miss. This is the thing that almost no course ever explains clearly.
So here it is. Was able to is for a specific single achievement in the past. One particular moment, one particular success that actually happened, and I did it.
That was able to carries the weight of that specific success, that particular moment of achievement.
Or let me put it like this. I could run fast when I was young. General ability over a period of time.
But after months of trading, I was able to finish the marathon. Specific achievement. One occasion, it actually happened, and I did it.
That was able to carries the weight of that specific success, that particular moment of achievement.
Or think about a work situation. She could speak some French before she moved to Paris. General ability beforehand.
But after 6 months living there, she was able to hold full conversations with the neighbors. Specific achievement. That level of ability was reached on actual, real occasions.
Or personal situation. He could read a little when he started school. General ability at that time.
But by the end of the year, he was able to read whole books by himself. Specific, achieved milestone. It happened.
And here's the really important thing, and this is the thing that changes everything for a lot of learners.
In negative sentences, could not and was not able to are often interchangeable. Both work for negatives about past inability.
Right, I couldn't find my keys this morning, or I wasn't able to find my keys this morning. Both natural, both correct.
But in positive sentences, for a specific past achievement, was able to is the natural and precise choice.
I was able to finish the project before the deadline. Specific, achieved, happened.
I could finish the project sounds slightly odd as a positive statement about a single specific past event because could suggests general ability, not a specific achievement.
This is the distinction. Positive, specific achievement in the past was able to. General past ability could.
And once you feel that distinction, your English becomes so much more precise, so much more expressive, so much more real.
Say it with us now, okay, everyone? Out loud. Ready? Here we go.
After years of practice, I was able to perform on stage. She was able to solve the problem in minutes. They were finally able to find a solution together.
Say them again. Feel the achievement in every single sentence. After years of practice, I was able to perform on stage. She was able to solve the problem in minutes. They were finally able to find a solution together.
That word finally with was able to. Finally. I love that. It carries all the effort and all the time leading up to that one achieved moment.
It really does. That is real human English right there, full of feeling, full of story.
Now let us talk about some common mistakes. And honestly, these are so understandable, so please be gentle with yourself if you have been making them.
Completely. We have all been there, and the fact that you are here learning means you are already so far ahead of where you were.
The first mistake, using can for past situations.
So learners sometimes say, yesterday I can finish all my work, or when I was young I can run very fast. Both of these use can, but can is present. It does not work for past situations.
The fix is so simple. Yesterday, I could finish all my work, or I was able to finish all my work. When I was young, I could run very fast.
Past ability needs could or was able to.
And the test is always this. Am I talking about right now? Can. Am I talking about the past? Could or was able to. That is it.
The second mistake, using could for a specific positive past achievement instead of was able to.
So a learner might say, after months of practice, I could finally play that piece perfectly. And that sounds close, but the more natural and more precise version is, after months of practice, I was able to finally play that piece perfectly.
Because was able to says it happened, it was achieved. On that specific occasion, it was done.
Could leaves it slightly in the realm of general ability. Was able to plants the flag and says this specific thing was accomplished.
Now, in everyday casual speech, learners often use could for both, and native speakers sometimes do too.
But in more formal or precise contexts, was able to is the right choice for specific achievements.
Knowing the rule means you can always make the right call, and that's what we're building here.
The third mistake, using could in requests when something more polite is needed.
So in a professional email or a formal situation, saying, "Can you send me that file?" sounds too direct sometimes.
Could you send me that file when you have a moment? Sounds so much warmer, so much more considerate. The could softens it perfectly.
And this is actually a really powerful professional tip. Could in requests signals respect for the other person's time and capacity. It says, I know you have choices, and I'm asking kindly, not demanding.
Could you review this before the end of the day, please? So professional, so natural, so warm.
And if you want to go even more polite and formal, you can say, would you be able to, which combines both. Would you be able to help me with this? Maximum warmth, maximum consideration.
Brilliant. And that would you be able to structure comes up constantly in professional English, especially in written communication. Okay, so now let us bring everything together in real life, because this is where it all becomes completely alive.
Right, so picture this. It's Monday morning, you're at work. Your manager asks if you can join a last-minute meeting at 2 o'clock.
And you check your schedule and you say, yes, I can. I don't have anything at that time. Can is perfect here. Present ability, present availability.
But then she asks if you could also prepare a short summary of last week's project, and you think for a moment.
And you say, I think I can do it, but could you send me the key points you want covered? I want to make sure I include everything you need.
Can for your ability, could you in your polite request, both natural, both perfectly chosen.
The meeting happens and it goes really well. Afterward, your manager says, the client asked a really difficult question. I wasn't sure we were going to handle it well.
And you say, honestly, I wasn't sure either at first, but we were able to answer it clearly in the end. I think they left feeling confident.
Was able to answer. A specific achievement that happened in that specific meeting on that specific occasion. Was able to is perfect.
And your manager smiles and says, absolutely, I could tell you had prepared really well for this. The could tell is about her general sense over the meeting, her perception of your preparation.
One Monday, one meeting, can, could, and was able to, all appearing naturally doing exactly the right job in exactly the right moment.
Now, let's try a personal situation, because these words live in personal stories, too.
Oh, they really do. Think about sharing a memory with someone close to you, something you learned to do, something you achieved.
You might say, when I first started learning to cook, I could barely boil water. I mean, barely.
We believe it. We completely believe it.
But after a year of trying different things and watching videos and making so many mistakes, I was able to cook a full dinner for my family from scratch, and they actually enjoyed it, I think.
That was able to cook a full dinner, specific achievement, one occasion, it happened. And the I think at the end is very relatable.
Very relatable. And your family member replies, oh, I remember that dinner. And they say, I could see how proud you were. Your whole face was different that evening.
I could see. General perception over that evening, could see as a past ability of perception, natural.
And you say, I really was. I had been trying for so long, and I was finally able to do something that felt real.
Was finally able to. Finally, that word again. All the effort and the time and the persistence landing in one specific achieved moment.
That's real human English, warm and honest and full of life.
Let us try one more. A deeply inspiring personal situation.
Someone is talking about their English learning journey, and they're reflecting on how far they've come.
They say, when I started, I could understand almost nothing. It felt so overwhelming, like the language was a wall I couldn't get through.
Could understand, general ability in that past period, very little, and the could not get through, past impossibility.
But they kept going, every day, every episode, every real conversation they could find.
And slowly they were able to follow a full conversation without stopping to translate in their head. That first time it happened, it felt like something shifted.
Was able to follow a full conversation. Specific moment, specific achievement, it actually happened. And that shift is everything.
And now they say, I can do things in English I never thought possible. I can express myself. I can understand so much more than I could before.
Can in the present, I can right now, and I could before as the past comparison. All three in one beautiful reflection on growth.
That story is the story of so many people listening right now, and it's a story that continues with every episode.
Every single one. Okay, everyone, say it with us one last time. Out loud. Ready? Let's go.
I can do this. I could not at first, but I kept going, and now I'm able to speak with real confidence.
Say it again. Feel every word. I can do this. I could not at first, but I kept going, and now I'm able to speak with real confidence.
That sentence right there, that's your English story, and it's true. Every single word of it is true.
Own it. Completely own it. Okay, let us bring everything together because you have covered so much today and you should feel genuinely proud.
Right, so here's the summary. Can is for present ability, possibility, and permission, right now, in this moment.
Could has two big jobs. Past general ability over a period of time, and conditional polite possibility for requests, suggestions, and uncertain futures.
Was able to is for specific achievements on specific occasions in the past. The thing actually happened. It was achieved, and was able to marks that with precision.
In negatives, could not and was not able to are often interchangeable, but in positive statements about specific past achievements, was able to is the more precise and natural choice.
And could you is one of the most powerful, polite professional requests you have. It signals respect and consideration and warmth, all in one small word.
3 words. Can, could, was able to. 3 distinct worlds, 3 very different feelings, and all 3 are now completely yours.
And you know what? You were able to get through this entire episode. That's a real achievement, a specific one, worth naming.
It genuinely is, and the fact that you showed up today and gave this your attention says everything about who you are as a learner.
Keep going. Every episode you complete is another step toward the English you want, and you are already so much closer than when you started.
So much closer. We're genuinely proud of you.
If today made can, could, and was able to finally click for you, please give this episode a like right now.
And if you're not yet subscribed, please join our family today. A brand new episode is ready for you every single day.
Thank you so much for being here. It truly means everything to us, every single listen.
This has been English with Liam and Olivia. Simple English, real conversations, daily practice.
Take care of yourselves. Keep going. We'll see you in the very next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.